This is KVUE News Midday.
State leaders meeting today to discuss possible rule changes for transgender athletes. We're live with the latest developments from that hearing.
The search continues for two missing sisters out of San Antonio, while police say their mother's side of the story isn't matching up.
And all eyes are on the Attorney General today, what to expect from Jeff Sessions' testimony on Capitol Hill. Well, good Tuesday morning to you. I am Brandon Jones.
And I'm Anna Reyes. Thank you for watching KVUE News Midday. Well, we're following a developing story out of San Antonio. Police are searching for two missing girls that their mother says disappeared in a reported carjacking. SAPD identified the girls as 4-year-old Malaya and 2-year-old Lena Rianne. Their 19-year-old mother, Sabrina Hewitt, claims her white Malibu was carjacked. With the girls inside, police have found the car, but not the girls. According to reports, Hewitt seemed intoxicated and confused on whether her daughters were with her or not. There was no car seat or other evidence of children being in the car. Police are verifying details of the mother's story since it seems to be constantly changing. No one has been charged as of news time.
An American detained in North Korea for more than a year is on his way back to the U.S. His parents said he had to be evacuated because he's in a coma right now. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says North Korea released Otto Warmbier, a University of Virginia student, per the request of President Trump. Now, last year, Warmbier was sentenced to 15 years in prison with hard labor for allegedly stealing a propaganda banner in the capital of North Korea. The State Department says they're hoping to have 3 other detained Americans released. Meanwhile, back here at home, we want to get a check of our weather here. It is hot and humid out there. Storm Team meteorologist Erica Lopez is standing by. How hot is it going to get today, Erica?
It's pretty sticky out there. We're talking feel-like temperatures in the triple digits for a lot of folks, but the actual temperature on your thermometer is going to read lower 90s. Here's what's going on across our region. Lots of low-level moisture. We have a southerly flow that's bringing in scattered showers from the deep south all the way into central and eastern Texas. What we're seeing are some light to moderate pockets of rain for our eastern counties. So that's been ongoing for the last hour or two. Notice most dense rain out there. Fayette, Lee County, Milam seeing some scattered showers out there as well. That's pretty much the extent of what we've seen. As for Austin, we're in the clear, but we're not in the clear from the low-level moisture. I'm going to talk temperatures and let you know exactly how warm we can expect to get coming up later on in the newscast. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Erica. Authorities in Georgia are looking for 2 inmates who killed prison guards during a bus transport. This happened in Putnam County. This is just about southeast of Atlanta. A witness told police she saw the men escape in a dark green Honda. The names of the prison guards and inmates have not been released.
We have new information on the 33-year-old mother who disappeared at a Galveston area beach. The Coast Guard says they've recovered the body of Brandon Mosley. It happened in the waters of Crystal Beach near Galveston yesterday. Officials say Mosley went into the water to help her 4-year-old son who was having trouble swimming. The boy made it back to shore, but Mosley did not.
Well, just last hour, the UIL statewide committee listened to a new proposal in relation to transgender athletes in high school sports, and several committees are discussing it right now as we speak.
That's right. KVUE's Jay Wallace has been following the story all day and has the latest from right outside this meeting. Jay?
Yeah, that's right. It was right outside. I'm right outside the Marriott in Round Rock. The meeting took place. The UIL had that meeting inside, and they had 2 proposals that were brought to the table. The first one, it would allow high school students to compete in sports based on the gender they identify with, similar to policies in the NCAA and the IOC. And the second one, it would clarify that the use of testosterone in accordance with transitioning students, that would not be considered performance-enhancing drugs. So this proposal, it was brought to the table by Equality Texas, which was created to provide a safe environment for LGBTQ Texans. And the issue of transgender athletes came to the forefront this past spring when transgender wrestler Mac Beggs from the DFW Metroplex High School Euless Trinity High School won the girls' state wrestling title. He identifies as a man and takes testosterone as a part of his transition, but isn't allowed to wrestle boys. And while Equality Texas hopes to see change for transgender athletes in the near future, one of the group's members says he expects a transition of procedure to take place off the field as well.
It's about making sure that all students in the UIL and high school athletics, not just athletics, but in activities, there are gender-based activities like choir, making sure that every student who wishes to participate based on the gender identity is allowed to do so.
So these proposed changes are being discussed right now by the smaller standing committees, as those members will decide what parts need to be altered before they bring it back to the table for the full committee later this afternoon. And worth mentioning, even if these proposals are approved, as is the case with any rule, it wouldn't go into effect until next year, which would be the 2018-19 school year. Live in Round Rock, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
All right, thank you so much, Jay. Well, in just a few hours, Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein will testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee.
That's right. They're set to publicly answer questions about the Russia investigation. ABC's Lana Zach tells us what more to expect from today's hearing.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions praised the president yesterday.
You set the exact right message, and it's being responded. The response is fabulous around the country.
But when he testifies before the Senate today, he'll face tough questions about Russia and the testimony of fired FBI Director James Comey.
My sense was the Attorney General knew he shouldn't be leaving, which is why he was lingering.
Also appearing on Capitol Hill, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, the man who appointed Special Counsel Robert Mueller and the one person who could fire him.
Director Mueller is going to have a full degree of independence that he needs to conduct that investigation appropriately.
Lawmakers from both parties believe that firing Mueller would be the wrong move. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, the top Republican, said,
I know Bob Mueller, and I have confidence in Bob Mueller.
The top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee going even further, tweeting, if President fired Bob Mueller, Congress would immediately reestablish independent counsel and appoint Bob Mueller. The White House appears to be pushing back on the Mueller reports, and the president tweeted today, fake news is at an all-time high. Where is their apology to me for all the incorrect stories? But the suggestion that the president is considering firing Mueller isn't fake news or based on an unnamed source. The bombshell came from a longtime friend of President Trump's, Chris Ruddy, Newsmax CEO and an ABC News contributor. Here he is on PBS NewsHour in his own words.
I think he's considering perhaps terminating the special counsel. I think he's weighing that option. I think it's pretty clear by what one of his lawyers said on television.
White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders says that Ruddy speaks for himself, and we'll have to see what the Attorney General Jeff Sessions has to say for himself in just a little bit. Reporting from the Capitol, Lana Zach, ABC News.
A Harris County deputy and her husband will appear before a judge today after choking a man to death outside a Denny's near Houston. What we're learning about that hearing coming up.
And one of the most controversial trials in history could end today, where Bill Cosby stands.